So how do you prospect 10 complete strangers in a week? Because imagine if you and your team start to make that goal is every single week we're going to prospect 10 new people. So the first step really is actually finding them. So we need to find the people to talk. We need to find the people to prospect. We need to connect with those people. And then we need to introduce them to what it is that we've got, right? So obviously a prospect, there's a difference between prospect and suspect. My dad used to always say to me, Frazer, if you give your business card out to someone or you add someone, then they don't return it back, they're a suspect. But when you give someone a business card or you add someone and they connect back with you, being they giving their details back to you, then they're a prospect. So finding people is the first step, introducing or connecting is the second step, introducing them to an opportunity is the third step. So let's get into it, right? How many people, if you want to prospect, if the goal is to prospect 10 people, right? Then we need to connect with a lot more than just 10 people, right? Okay, so here are the numbers, okay, from what I've been able to establish on a lot of the different 15-day challenges that I do, and there'll be a link to there'll be a link somewhere around this video, maybe down in the description or in the comments, on where you can actually register for one of our next 15-day ninja challenges, which are absolutely amazing. We love doing them and everyone goes crazy for them, right? But here we go. So the first step is that you need to find a message, I call it FAM, 10 people, it's just over 9 people, but I'm going to round it up to 10. 10 people to get one person to reply, to connect with you, to get one person. So find someone, so you find them in groups, you find them in the newsfeed, you find them using Instagram hashtags, you find them wherever and however you would like to on social media in particular. You then add that person and then you message them to let them know why you're adding them. So it's not just like, I know what I'm going to do. I've found Bob in a group. I'm going to add Bob, and then I'm going to do this. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Universe, please let Bob see my friend request and decide that he's going to accept me and message me to join my business and then ask me for the link and blah, blah. No, it's not going to happen. You have to be the instigator. If you think attraction marketing is going to work like that, it doesn't. It's changed over the years, guys. You have to be the instigator. So you found Bob, you've added Bob, and then you're going to message Bob to let him know why you're adding him. Don't overcomplicate it. Hey, Bob. I noticed you also live in Liverpool. Me too. Thought it'd be cool to connect. How's things? Hey Bob, noticed you live in London. Looking to connect with people in the area. Thought it'd be cool to connect with you. How's things? Hey Bob, noticed you like to travel. Thought it'd be cool to connect. How's things? Hey Bob, noticed you're into fitness. Me too. Thought it'd be cool to connect. How's things? If you do that to 10 people, just over one person will actually reply to you. Great. Now, depending on your skills, because guys, that's like, obviously if your profile's set up great, the more influence you've got, the more chance you've got, right? And if you want to hack the process, here's a little hack for you, little bonus hack. I'm going to write hack here, is if they've got an active story, if you see Bob, right, and he's got a blue ring around his profile photo, click it to view his story, and if you're able to give it a love heart or a comment, do that. So in their messenger, they will get the interaction. So if you then send the message, guess what? Right? Excited, works really, really well on Instagram in particular, that, right? Okay, so once you've got these people, once you've got the one person, depending on your skill levels, right? You can expect to have a conversation with anywhere from 30 to 40 people, right? 30 to 40 people. 30 to 40 people to get one distributor, but you would also expect to get about 4 customers, right? Those are the numbers, okay? Those are some of the numbers. Now, I'm going in depth with these numbers, so I hope you guys understand that you can rewind, you can pause, you can go back, get a piece of paper, because this is very, very important. Because again, business is built on numbers, not by people. People lie, numbers don't. 1 + 1 is always 2. It's not, it might be 1.7 today. No, it's not. It's always that. And as I mentioned in a previous video, I think it was episode number 7. It could be 8. I think it might be episode number 8, I actually discussed goals and having activity-based goals, not results-based goals. So instead of us having the result-based goal of prospecting 10 people, which is actually activity, in this example it's a result, we need to get the right activity to be able to prospect 10 people. So if we found out the message, 10 people will have one conversation. So in order for us to get 30 to 40 conversations, we're going to need to add a 0 to these numbers. We're going to have to add a message 300 to 400 people in a week to have 30 to 40 people in conversation with, all right? But the goal was 10 people, right? So we're going to need to get 100. We're going to have to add a message 100 people. Yes, I know my notes are all over the place here. Now this is what I know. I've tested this with a number of different groups. I actually got them on a Zoom call and said, right, after 3, you're going to go. I'm going to set a timer to 5 minutes and you're going to add a message. Whenever you add a message, all those 3, I want you to make a note of it on your piece of paper. And at the end of the 5 minutes, I want you to let me know how many you did. And there was hundreds of people on all the different groups. The average was, in 5 minutes, people were able to add a message 5 people. So what does that mean? Every minute, you can FAM someone. So, if we need to add a message 100 people in a week, right? That's going to take us 100 minutes in a week. All right? So 100 minutes, let's say you're just doing Monday to Friday, that's 20 minutes per day. 20 minutes per day to create enough responses for you to be having conversations to be able to prospect people. Now, when it comes to prospecting, you need to be able to ask them the question, which I have in my book called I Dare You. And the question is, hey Bob, just curious, would you be open to checking out some more information on an exciting opportunity, or on an exciting way to make money on social media, or on how to fire your boss, on how to spend more time with your kids, or on how to play golf more, or on how to go shopping more? No worries if not, I just thought I would ask. So in kind of recapping here, when we come down to this process, you find, and then we kind of add message. You connect with them based on their response, right? So on their reply. So if you say, hey Bob, noticed you live in Liverpool, thought it'd be cool to connect, me too, thought it'd be cool to connect, how's things? And one of those 10 people reply, on average, to say like, yeah, cool, like how's things with you? You've connected, and you're gonna have a little bit of back and forth. You create a relationship. You turn the stranger into a friend before you get them in the business, because strangers aren't going to join, right? Friends join, okay? Like new friends especially. New friends are even more powerful than old friends. It's kind of bizarre how that works now, right? And then you introduce them by asking the question that I just mentioned before to see if they'd be a fit for you. That is how you prospect 10 people in a week. It's a massive amount of activity, knowing what you've got to do each and every single day and the time you've got to spend. Everyone has 20 minutes a day. Everyone. If you got value from this video, let me know in the comments down below. Feel free to share this with people in your team so they get to know that, hey, you can legitimately build a business in 20 minutes a day of connecting with people. And yeah, feel free to subscribe. If you want the free resource, feel free to just hit the link above or below this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. See you soon, guys. Appreciate you. Bye-bye. Hey.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Yeah, everybody's on mute. I didn't know I could mute everybody at once. That worked. Cool. Frazer Brookes. I think we'll get into more practical training. What he's talking about is exactly what works. That's awesome. Okay, I still can't hear anybody.
Hey, Don.
Yeah. Okay. Just make sure my speaker's perfect. Good morning,
Your
Dee.
speaker's working. That was really great. And I really love the way that he messages people. Like, that is so inside my welcome happy zone. Like, I can totally do that.
Perfect. Yeah. And I think Frazer's the guy. He's the one that's doing what we're trying to do, like prospect online. Or I don't know if everyone's trying to do that. That's my goal, is to do what he does, you know? And that's but 20 minutes a day, right? To recruit 10 people in a week. That's inspiring.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And that's what I've been doing. So I've been doing the same thing he says. connecting with people, finding people, connecting people, and making an introduction. And what I've been doing is adding them. I've been using just Facebook because I really also like the idea of focusing on one thing. I can't focus on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. I'll focus on one thing now and then maybe add a LinkedIn or an Instagram after. But right now there's enough people on Facebook. I don't need to go anywhere else. So we always think the grass is greener over in the Instagram world or TikTok world or whatever. But I think it's good to just keep focusing on one. Anyway, yeah, I've just been sending, connecting with people. That takes like 10 seconds to connect with 25 people. And then if I send them, a message, I was sending them all a message at first, but that takes, no, I am still doing that. So I'll connect with 25 people, then I'll send them a quick message. Hey, I noticed you were in the same group as I'm in. Nice to connect. And that way, all those people show up in my messenger list. So I know that I've sent them a friend request, and then a few of those will respond. And I'm at the point where now I'm connecting with those people that have responded. So, but I like how when you send a message first, it kind of keeps track of it because it puts it in on your messenger. So, and then that thing keeps moving down day by day or whatever. And then the people that message you pop up in the top of your messenger chat. So that works really well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's so good.
And then also
and
like
it's perfectly.
Yeah, go ahead, Dee.
I want to say, and it's perfectly in alignment with what I've been reading. I'm reading all the time, and I was reading a chapter in How to Win Friends and Influence People, and in that chapter, I'm in the part where they're talking about like be sincerely interested in other people. And I love how Frazer just was like, yeah, I noticed you live in Liverpool. Yeah, I noticed you live in London. I wanted to connect with people that live there. Like that's so sincere and honest and totally like not pressure, no sales or anything there. And I love that. Yeah.
And that's so important. Like otherwise your mind blocks you. We're not trying to sell anything. We're just trying to make a connection. The sale and the introduction to the sale will only come if it gets to that point. So that way you're only connecting people, and who knows what that connection may turn into. It may turn into a marriage proposal. It might turn into I don't know, whatever. So a business opportunity, a business partnership. You never know what it's going to turn into. You're just connecting, networking is what it is. That's why it's called network marketing.
Yeah.
Because you're networking. Cool. I also like how he says, turn a stranger into a friend. That's so key. And then I've been finding that too. A lot of the times new friends are better than old friends. So a brand new friend that you just met today, and I'm just thinking about it because you don't have anything else to chat about. You don't have the camping trip 10 years ago to chat about. You're only chatting about what's going on right now, what you're doing, your business, whatever. So you don't have to get caught up in all this chit chat about all this past stuff. What have you been doing? How are the kids? How's mom? True. All that stuff. So that's cool. So I never heard anyone say that before. Sometimes new friends are better than old friends. Yeah,
I think that's true too. And plus, because like right now our mindsets are different than they were when we made those friends, so many years ago. And so like right now I notice when I'm talking with some friends, like they're still like in the mommy baby phase and they just want to talk about being mommies and having babies. And I love that because I love being a mom and I love babies. But at the same time, my mindset is on bigger things. So while I love talking about that with those people, right now, I don't really want to talk about that. I want to talk about like, how are we helping the people? How are we like changing the world? How are we dreaming bigger? And old friends are not there right now. And not all of them, some are, but a lot of them are not. They're happy where they're at and what they're doing. And so new friends like you guys, I can be like, hey, Dawn, I saw this video and I thought it was great. And you'll be like, yeah, that was great. Yes, let's chat about that. Like, it's just a different mindset, and that is encouraging, and it helps to spur us forward, for me anyway. So I definitely think like that new friends, that new energy, just like when you're building your team, yeah, it's important to keep building your team because that new energy comes on and it just stirs everybody back up again. But if we're all just talking about the same old, it kind of gets lame, you know? So I think that new friend energy is so important.
Yes. And we're all pioneering new things, so that will always be changing. We'll always have new things to talk about. What works today might not work in a month from now, and we'll be there because we're already looking at all that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, great. What else? I forgot what else I was going to say. But anyways. Yeah, I like
how we talked about the numbers.
Yeah, the numbers don't lie, and that's true. And that's why I've been recording everything and putting it down. How many people did I actually send a connection to this week, last week, today? And then how many did I actually follow up with those numbers? Because those numbers don't lie. How many people did you are new customers, you know? I like how, you know, oh yeah, no, I talked to a few people, but no, the numbers, what are the actual numbers? And then I'm getting to the stage where Frazer always brings that up because he always approaches the statement the same way. Would you be interested in taking a look at what I have? And he always adds, no worries if you're not, I just thought I'd ask. He always adds that in, and I'm going to try doing that. I never do that, but there must be a reason that he adds that in, because it takes the pressure off, right? Because you don't really care, you know, and that way it gets you that question out there without feeling, again, pressured about it, like a sales type thing. It's, would you be interested in taking a look at what I'm doing? And no worries if you're not, I just thought I'd ask. It's a simple little comment that turns the conversation around into what you're actually, what we're actually promoting. So that's cool.
Yeah. When we ask that question, we're doing our job, right? That's like asking, what do you know about stem cells? We got to do our job. It's nice
do our job, because why are we doing it? Otherwise, it's just creating work for ourselves, because connecting with 100 people in a week is a lot of people. So yeah, if we're not doing that and we're not having someone take a look at what we have, either by a video or getting on a call live or whatever, then you're right. We're just chit-chatting. We're just socializing. Yeah. So there is a turnaround there, and that's the stage I'm at now after 2 weeks too. Yeah.
I like that.
And I wanted to say, someone brought up a comment yesterday, I think it was, that these calls, anybody could be on these calls. It doesn't have to be someone who's doing the 90-day challenge. I think this is an ongoing thing. We think it's 90 days, but once it gets to 90 days, it's going to be ongoing. So it's just, you know, I think it was Brady that mentioned that. I think some people might have got discouraged of coming on these calls because they think they're not part of the 90 days and they're not doing that, but that has nothing to do with it. We're just figuring out what works. To me, building online is what's so necessary right now, because of what's going on, we can't go out and hang out with people like we used to. So we got to do it online. So we might as well figure out how to build this online. And this is for any business. You know, you learn, you know, once we've got these skills down, it could be used to promote and market anything online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. So yes, Frazer Brookes didn't mention that, but if we're connecting with people that are in groups about health and healing, Facebook groups or whatever, groups online, or groups about guitar or about motorcycles, then they have that connection already, because they're targeted, in other words, you know, they're not just random people. So if we're targeting groups of people that are looking for how to make money online, working from home, all those things, or they're interested in natural healing or reducing pain naturally, or all these things, then they're already targeted. They already have that conversation. Like, for instance, like when you said, like, you've got an old friend, but they might not be interested in health, you know?
Right.
But if we're targeting groups of people that are in groups for health, then they're interested in health, or they're interested in working online or generating an income. So that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, right on. Anyone else got something to add? I'm all excited because you know what? Frazer always talks about his energy before he gets on the calls, and I can feel that. You know, he brings up his energy and he just goes all out. He said he's normally not like that either. So you can feel it. You know, it gets everybody excited. That's cool. And Brady said he was going to go on the training, the new training from Frazer Brookes. So that's cool. I had a success yesterday. For instance, there's a group called Expats Los Cabos, meaning people that live in Los Cabos that are not from here, they're from somewhere else in the world. They're not Mexican. So there's a bunch of groups like that in Los Cabos. So there's always people asking questions about, you know, where's the best place to get a taco? Is it safe there? All these crazy questions, like, just make you want to hit your head against the wall. I'll have to try to think that, you know, what's the best Mexican restaurant in Mexico? Like someone said, all restaurants are Mexican restaurants in Mexico. Well, what about the Italian restaurant? Well, it's in Mexico. It's a Mexican restaurant. Anyway, just these crazy questions. So someone said that I'm like, people all the time say, I'm moving to Cabo next week. I'm buying a house. I'm moving there. Any suggestions? I said, well, yeah, I show people how to make an income online so that they can live in Los Cabos. That's what I do. I got three responses from that yesterday. So, you know, those are 3 leads, right?
Yeah.
Just from that. And then I'm answering
great,
that. I'm answering that. Yeah, thank you. I'm answering that one person's question saying, okay, I show people how to make an income online so they can live here, and message me if you're interested. And then I connect with that person that made the post, like friend request them, send them a message. Hi, we connected. I saw you were on the expat group. And then, so those responses came from other people in the post, obviously, because they see my post saying I help people make an income online so they can live in Los Cabos. And then, oh yeah, I want to know. Oh, one girl said, yeah, I met you 2 years ago. I'm interested in learning how to make an income online. There you go.
Cool.
That's a lead.
Hey,
So
good, Don.
simple. And there's tons of those groups, right? You could look, you know, there'd be groups that, you know, moms that want to stay at home and with their kids and make an income. You know, you can do the same thing there. So that's cool. So even though I have to answer questions about like, where's the best place to get a taco in Mexico or in Cabo, or can you buy Diet Coke in Mexico? That's one question. Can you buy Diet Coke? Do they have Diet Coke in Mexico? I said, no, they only have tequila and beer. Sorry. You can't.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But anyway. Cool. So how much time we got here? Still got a bit of time. I think I'm going to cut off a little bit earlier on these calls so that we don't get the plug pulled like yesterday. Because we're still getting because we're starting like at the hour, we're still getting at least 30 minutes into the calls, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Well, thanks for sharing, Don.
Yeah, that's good. So and what I shared last week is since I made a point to connect with 25 people a day, and I'm just doing what Frazer Brookes said today. I'm just messaging people friend requesting and messaging them. That takes me like 5 minutes tops. And there's such a flurry of activity from that. It's unbelievable. You know, now the work, which he doesn't talk about, now the work is all the other stuff after that, you know, connecting with people, keeping track of people, because, you know, 100 people is kind of hard to keep track of, right? You got to remember who you talk to, what you talk to them about, and have a way of following up with them, because if you don't put them in there as a follow-up, then they just get lost when the next 100 people come in, you know? So, and I learned something from one of my sales people friends. The most important person to talk to is the one who's ready to make the sale. This is in a sales mind thinking, because we're always so interested in bringing in more leads, more people, but we forget about the people that are already ready for the sale to be made. And in a sales system, you flag that person as like a number 1 priority, a number 2 priority, a number 3 priority. So then you talk to the people with the number 1 priority first. And I notice that some people are ready to order the product, but I'm out there getting the 100 new leads when I'm ignoring this person that's ready to order the product now. So I think that's important too. As sort of tracking the follow-ups and then tracking the importance of the follow-ups. Is this person is interested, they want more information, they want you to talk to them.
So when you're making your connections and you get a person that is interested, do you stay in that conversation until they've either signaled that they're done talking about it, or until they've made a decision? Or is it the fact that you're still just reaching out? Because I know if you're using Facebook, like you said, when they reply, they pop up back to the top. So then do you like stay in that conversation with them, or you just reply, keep sending out? Because that's kind of like what I do. And I do notice that sometimes I'll get back and I'll be like, ooh, they replied an hour ago. I didn't see that notification because I was in a different app, And so I'm wondering, is that what are you staying in the conversation until they signal or make a decision, or what?
I'm on to looking for 100 new leads.
Okay. Okay.
So that is a part of this learning process of figuring this out, because I'm having a hard time with that. So I've got these people over here that want more information and want to have a chat about things, or even place an order. I've got like 4 people that want to place an order that I haven't talked to in like weeks because I'm not.
Oh no.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But that's 2 things: not setting a priority for that person, like I'm not putting them as a priority. Like I've been learning to, because I'm using Trello, right? So Trello, I can put a color on them, a green or a yellow or a red color. So that way but still, it's a whole process of trying to figure out how to follow up with the people that are most interested first. And, so we'll get there. My goal this week.
That was something.
Yeah, go ahead, Dee.
I do remember that was something that Mark had shared about, like, once he gets someone who's having that conversation, like he'll stay there with them and until something, like until there's a decision. Even if it's like follow up for more information, he may drop a link and then move on, but he'll stay there to get to some point and then he'll move, because like you said, because they're hot. And if they're hot,
that's the word. Yeah.
I do like that in the Penny app, you can flag them as a hot prospect. And then you can change your follow-up date. So then they automatically come up on your list within the amount of days that you set. So you don't really have to think so much about, oh yeah, who did I follow up with? Because if they're a hot prospect, you can flag them as a hot prospect, put your follow-up as a day or 2 or later, and then come back for them.
Right. Because that's another thing. You put them off for a couple of days and then you forget about them. But you want to follow up in 3 days or you know, another 3 days from then. So yeah, I find that's a whole part of the process of figuring things out. Okay, and then I remember Mark saying that too. He'll just stay on a call with somebody as long as he needs to, half an hour, whatever, if they're interested in chatting about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. We'll get there. That's the next step.
We'll tweak it and fine tune it.
We'll tweak it and fine tune it, because I think it's so important. Because this is the skill to learn, no matter what kind of business you're building online. It's,
Definitely.
it's figuring, because there's endless amounts of prospects and leads online for whatever it is you have to sell. Right.
Right.
Okay, so yeah,
Well,
that's
that's
where
good.
that's where I see our time counting down. So let's
Quick question.
yeah, it's Tom. Hey Tom, we got 4 minutes. So
Oh, real quick. Did you guys ever do that special on the preferred customer? You were going to
Yeah.
do you did do it.
Yeah, I forget if I posted it or not. Did you remember seeing it, Dee? I'll send you a link. I can't remember if I posted the recording or not. I think I did.
I was just curious if you did it or not. I remember you saying that on the one meeting you were going to dive into the whole meeting and go over in depth.
Yeah, Dee did that. Yeah, I did post it, and it was a short one, right? Wasn't it like 14 minutes long? I forget now. We've done so many meetings, but we did do it. I'll send you the link to where it is. But it was great. Dee went over the whole preferred customer program and all the details of it. So
It's a nice way to get people in, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
get
Can you
that.
put that in the chat, Don?
Yeah, I'll put it in the LoveBoat chat.
Thanks.
So
Sorry,
that's
Thank you.
Tom.
No, that's all
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
cool. And
Appreciate
the main juice of the preferred customer was that people get samples, right? They get samples of everything, like random samples, and that's pretty cool. Plus they get a smoking deal on the product, like to try.
Plus
all
they get the full 90 days for their first order, you know?
Yeah, and the full money back guarantee for 90 days too.
That's for the first order, whatever their first order was. So if they order the 90 days worth, they'll get that money back. But if they've ordered a couple times, they're only going to get the recent order back, you know?
Yeah. So,
but I like that. It's a good program.
Yeah, for products, yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, I'll look that up, and I think we cut it up into a short 14-minute video. Or no, the 14-minute one was on Penny app. Okay, so it was a full meeting, a 30-minute meeting that he went over all.
Okay, great.
Stuff,
great.
But I'll look it up, make sure the recording. If not, I'll put the recording up. But I think I put it up.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate these meetings. You know.
Yeah, isn't it great? So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone is welcome, and it's going to be great to get more new blood on. To get the excitement and energy up. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Have an awesome day,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Yeah, thanks.
You too.
And try to stay warm, Margaret. Yeah, and you know, and the snow cleared. I know what that's like. You shovel the whole driveway, and then you get back in the house, and it's full again. You got to get out there. Anyway, awesome. Have a great day, guys.
Take care.
Bye, guys. Bye, Jan. Bye, Mark.
Bye.